And fabulous. Hi, ladies. Welcome to my live on today. Hopefully, you are here live and direct. And if you are, please say hi. Please say hello. Super duper excited to be here with you on a Saturday. It is Black History Month. It is Heart Health Month. It is Self Love Month. It is everything we need it to be. So, hopefully, you are here with me. I don't see a whole bunch of comments. Could be because YouTube, right? So make sure that you say hi or hello so that I know that you are here. Drop your city in the comments and all the things. Today, I'm going to be talking about losing, melting, getting rid of your minnow belly. Yes, honey. How many of you are struggling with menopause? Go ahead and type me in the chat. If you are struggling with that minnow belly, type me in the chat. If you are having a hard time losing weight because of your hormones, type me in the chat. I see you guys. Hello from Toledo, from St. Louis in the house. Hello from Maryville, Indiana. I see a lot of me's coming through as well. So tonight I'm going to be dropping some amazing information. I hope you're ready to learn. If you are ready to learn, go ahead and type learn in the chat. I am going to share my screen so that you are able to partake in my presentation on today. So let me get to the presentation so that you're able to see it. Hopefully you can. Right now, my video may be delayed. Every time I share my screen on Facebook, I have a little bit of issue with that. So I may turn off my video, but hopefully you are able to see screen. Go ahead and type screen for me. Tamicia and Evelyn and all the ladies who are here. Listen, this is some really good information that we're going to have being shared tonight. I hope that you lean in and I hope that you take the time to learn and to participate in our live on today. All right, so let me go ahead and see if I can turn off my video. All right. Thank you, Daria. Thank you, Glenda. Thank you, Varel, for letting me know that you can see my screen. So tonight's prayer of the night, our verse of the night, verse of the day is let us not become weary in doing good. For at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we don't give up. Ladies, I'm here to tell you shouldn't give up. I'm here to tell you we should be focusing on doing the good things that we know we need to be doing to our bodies and for ourselves so that we can reach our goals. That is the whole plan here. The verse of the day is Galatians 6:9. If you believe in the verse like I do, type G69 in the chat for Galatians 6:9. Go ahead and type G69 in the chat if you believe in the verse like I do. That is my journey. So welcome. I know many of you have already said hi and hello. If you haven't, please drop your city, say hi and hello. Also, if this is your first time joining a Fit, Fine, and Fabulous live, type a 1 in the chat, or a first, type a 1ST so I know that it's your first time. But welcome tonight. Now, I'm going to be sharing some transformations even before I get started because transformations, ladies, speak for themselves. So I need you to be welcomed, right? I'm going to give you a glimpse of what's possible when you can take control of your health and in just 5 days, right? So the transformations you're going to see is not just about losing weight. It's also about gaining life. So we're not just trying to lose weight. We're trying to gain life. That is the goal here. Right. So here's some life gaining transformations. This could be you if you take action on today. So we have divas who's lost 7 pounds in 5 days. We have divas who've lost 8.8 pounds in 5 days. We've had divas who've lost 7 pounds in 5 days. We have divas who've reported that they've lost 7 pounds in 5 days. Like I can go on and on. 6 pounds in 5 days, 5.8 pounds in 5 days, 6 pounds in 5 days. So the first 5 days, we are seeing results and following the protocol that I'm going to be sharing with you guys on tonight. So, but first and foremost, I need you guys to realize that you're in good hands. If you don't know me and you've never met me, my name is Nicole Coach Twyman, and I've dedicated my life to helping people, to helping divas, to helping sisters achieve their weight loss goals, just like I did. So I am going to be guiding you on this journey on tonight, sister. So glad that you are here. And you might be wondering, well, why am I here? Why am I doing all of this? My why is because I wanna, right? I wanna help end the trend of obesity in our community, right? I wanna help show her is you, that it's possible at 40 and over, at 50 and over, at 60 and over, not even at 70 and over. I want to help her lower her blood pressure. I want to help her reduce her triglycerides. I want to help her manage her menopause. I want to help her reverse her diabetic diagnosis, right? I want to help her reduce her belly. That's what I want to do. That is my mission in life. And I've been doing this for more than a decade. I've been helping ladies snatch their waist, unbig their backs for quite some time. So you are in absolute good hands. And I have some other slides all about me, but I'm going to skip over those slides and I'm going to go right into why you should know that this is important. I'm going to be sharing information about menopause and how you can reduce your belly and how you really need to know this stuff. Ladies, you really need to know this stuff in order for you to accomplish your goals, right? But the real thing that you need to know up front is why this is so important. The CDC says that 56% of us, 57% of us, women 20 and over with hypertension and are taking medication and have high blood pressure, right? There are 57.6%, more than half of us over 20 have some type of preventable disease. And that I think is very, very, very unfortunate. Very, very, very unfortunate. So that's why this is important, especially for Black women, especially during Heart Health Month, right? Because many of us are affected by these things. Percentage of Black women over 20 who are obese is 55.9%. Almost every one out of two Black women you see is not just fat, but they are obese. They are obese. So it is important for us to link together and come together, right? You need to hear this, ladies. If you struggle with chronic bloat, or if you struggle with constipation, if you struggle with that, type of one in the chat. Type of one in the chat if you struggle with that. Let me know if that's one of your issues, right? You need to hear this if you've been trying to lose weight, but all the rules are just confusing. You don't know what to eat. You don't know when to eat. You don't know how much to eat. It's just very confusing. I need you to type a 2 if this is you. I'm trying to find you, ladies. I'm trying to help you. Or how about you need to hear this if you're tired of seeing other people's transformations and you just can't seem to get your own. You tired of it. If that's you, type a 3 in the chat. Type a 3 in the chat if that is you. I see you, Daria. I see you, Tracy. Thank you, ladies, for dropping your numbers. Is letting me know who is in the house. You need to hear this if your waist is 36 inches or greater, 35 inches or greater. Go ahead and drop a 35 in the chat if your waist circumference is bigger than 35. Or how about you don't even know your waist circumference? Drop a 35 in the chat if that is you. If that is you, drop a 35, my good sis. Also, you need to hear this if your doctor has told you you need to drink more water, you need to get more sleep, you need to just take better care of yourself. If your doctor has told you this in the last 3 to 6 months or in the last year even, go ahead and type a 4 in the chat. I see you ladies engaging and having the dialogue with us. This is a transparent place, and where we need to share. So I have a question for you. How many of you know somebody in your family, or maybe it's you, with some of the following conditions? All right. So I'm going to share these conditions and I need you to count them. You're going to give yourself 1 point for every condition either you have or you know somebody who has it. Give yourself 1 point. Okay. If you have high blood pressure, you know somebody. Give yourself a point if you have diabetes or you know somebody. If you have heart disease or you know somebody. If you have high cholesterol, you know somebody. You have hypertension, cancer, or inflammation. If you or yourself or you know someone with any of these, go ahead and add up your points, sis. And then when you add up those points, drop in the comments, how many points do you have? How many points do you have? How many? I see Janice says she has a whole 5. My goodness. Glenda says she has a whole 6. I'm going to tell you my tally. My tally is 5. I scored a 5 because my mom and my dad had high blood pressure. My mom and my 2 brothers have diabetes. My dad had heart disease. My sister has hypertension. My grandmother had cancer. I have a whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blessfully, prayerfully, gratefully, I don't have any of those things. And I don't think that it's a coincidence. I think that I make different choices in the foods that I eat and the habits that I do on a daily basis, right? It's not that diabetes and heart disease and obesity runs in your family, is that people in your family aren't running. Nobody's moving, nobody's exercising. So we like to say, oh, it just runs in my family, but that's not it. You're not moving, right? People like to say disease run in their families. You know why? Because your eating habits run through your family. And it's time for us to change that. We're not victims to our genes. Our genes load the gun, but it's our lifestyles that pull the trigger. How many of us are guilty of pulling the trigger? Our gun is loaded, but we are out here pulling triggers. If you are guilty, go ahead and type gun in the chat. You know your gun is loaded, but you are out here pulling triggers. If that's you, go ahead and type gun in the chat. I'm trying to see it. I'm trying to see it. All right, ladies, let me know if you're guilty of that, because it's important for us to let food be our medicine, right? Because we are not victims to our genes, but we are victims to our own habits. You're going to fall. You cannot rise higher than your level of habits that you execute on a daily basis. So first off, we got to stop blaming our family. We got to stop blaming menopause. We got to stop blaming all the things, right? So sis, we're going to start really talking about these bellies tonight. That's why we are here, right? We want to talk about the belly. Tammy, I see you. You saying you had the gun and it's loaded. Daria has the gun and it's loaded. I see you guys. I see you guys. So let me know if you are really here because your belly is big and you're trying to reduce it. If that's you, type belly in the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the ladies who have just joined us for the first time as well. Welcome, Virgo Above the Law. Welcome, Carolyn Presley. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our first ladies. So glad that you are here. All right. If you are here because your belly's big and you're like, hey, I just need to get this resolved, I need to figure this thing out, listen, let me know. Because women over 40 may experience an enlarged belly or abdominal bloating due to a combination of things, right? So we're going to break it down tonight. If y'all are ready for it to be broken all the way down, type down in the chat. I'm about to break it all the way down. Why your belly so big? Why is your belly so big, right? So enlarged belly or abdominal bloating can be related to age, can be related to hormone changes, can be related to lifestyle habits, can be related to genetics, right? It could be. But here are some of the actual top reasons, the actual top reasons. The main reason it's so hard for women over 40 to start to lose weight, for women over 40 to really get their bellies down, is because of the hormone changes. There are hormones that are happening in your body, sis, and you have to understand them, right? Many of you have heard of estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. You see that, right? So the estrogen is the pink line, the pink line. And do you see as you get older, that estrogen drops? The progesterone is the blue line. It takes a deep dive drop as well. When the testosterone, it also drops, but it kind of levels up just a tad bit. Hormones are playing a serious role, especially as we move from perimenopause, which is basically no symptoms at all, to full-blown menopause, to postmenopausal. We're going through the menopausal transition, and we're not quite understanding what is happening to our bodies. So tonight, I'm going to share, pull the curtain back so that you can see behind what's really going on. All right. So when estrogen drops, the fat gets redistributed to visceral fat. How many of you have heard of visceral fat? Drop a F in the chat. If you've heard of visceral fat before, type a V. I said F. Type of V. F for fat or V or whatever. But if you've heard of visceral fat, go ahead and type a V. So I have two images here on the screen. Two images on the screen. And one of the images, the black lady on the left, she has three different colors. Light blue, then she has a white, and then she has actual pink. Okay, actual pink. So the pink portion of her belly is that visceral fat. So I'm going to repeat what I have here at the top. When estrogen drops, the fat gets redistributed to visceral fat. So as you get older, I showed you in the previous slide, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, they're dropping anyways. There's nothing you can do to stop it. So you can eat the same and be healthy and run and do all the things and do nothing, right? Do nothing differently. You're not even eating badly, but you will still grow a belly. Do you now know why? Do you now know why? Yes or no in the chat. No matter what you do, your body's coming for you, right? You now know why. Because your estrogen is dropping. Because your progesterone is dropping. Because your testosterone, all your hormones are going lower. And when your estrogen drops specifically, your fat gets redistributed as visceral fat. Make sense? Yes or no in the chat? Okay, so now we know, okay, man, estrogen drops, I have more visceral fat. Well, what is visceral fat? Visceral is the fat that sits on your organs. Visceral is the fat that supports stress. It's the fat that supports high blood pressure. It's the fat that supports hypertension. It's the fat that's literally sitting around and with your organs. It's an issue. When you have more visceral fat, that fat is deep within, right? It is deep within. It is sitting around the organs. But there are two different kinds of fats. Yes, two different kinds. One is visceral. The other is subcutaneous fat. Subcutaneous fat. We're dropping facts tonight, y'all, right? So we want to lose both kinds of fats. Subcutaneous is the fat that's right under your skin. That's the fat that's the easiest for you to lose. We want to be able to lose the subcutaneous fat, but what's most important is for us to lose the visceral fat, right? We want to be able to get to that fat that's around our organs so that we can reduce our pressure, so that we can reduce the risk of diabetes, the risk of stroke, and all of those things. So your liver, your kidney, your gallbladder, your colon, your small intestines are all in just wrapped up in visceral fat. And visceral fat. So that's all happening at a higher rate because estrogen is dropping. Estrogen is dropping because it is a natural thing. This is what our bodies does. As women, right? We lose estrogen. So when you think about, wow, I am really going to have a big belly no matter what I do, right? It's natural. It's going to happen. So at some point in your life, you have to start taking action. Sooner than later is ideal, right? So some of the things that we can do to take action against our visceral fat is what we're going to be talking about. But I want to be sure that every woman on this call understands we have at least two different types of fats. You understand that? Type F in the chat for fat. Two different kinds is what we're talking about. We're talking about subcutaneous, that's right under your skin. And then we're talking about very visceral, very evil fat that lives around your organs, that's truly making you sick, right? And so we need to get rid of both of them, but most importantly, visceral fat. I hope it's making sense to y'all. But let's keep going, right? But there's something else going on too. Something else is going on as well. And before I get into everything else that's going on, drop an F in the chat if you're following. Drop an F in the chat if you understand it, right? I don't want to proceed if you don't understand. If you don't understand, say so. I will explain even deeper. But hopefully everyone is understanding that we have the two different kinds of fats. Right under our skin is cutaneous, and right deeper in our cavity, if you will, is the visceral fat that's around our organs. Hopefully you guys are all following that. And it is so very important for us to get our hormones right. Right? So it's not just about, it is about what you eat, but it's not just about that. It is also about balancing your hormones. If your hormones are jacked up, your belly's going to be jacked up, right? That's just a matter of fact, simply because we are women, and that's just how that goes. All right, so there are other things going on. If you want to know the other things that are going on, type a GO for go in the chat, and I will share with you the other things that are going on, because it's not just about hormones. It's not just about menopause, right? Although that's a big culprit, there are other things that are happening too. And I want to be able to share those things with you. I just need one person to drop a GO in the chat. All right, I see you, Deidre. So I'm going to drop it in the chat so that you can know this other thing that's going on. It's called muscle sarcopenia. Muscle sarcopenia. How many of you who have heard of this, type me in the chat? If you've never heard of it, type not me in the chat. Not me. Now, many of you who follow Fit, Fine, and Fabulous, you've heard of this before. You've heard of this before, right? But many of you have not. So I'm trying to see how many of you heard of muscle sarcopenia before, how many of you have never heard of it, right? All right, well, we have some ladies who've never heard of it, which is great. That means it's time for me to break it on down, right? Muscle sarcopenia is the fact of us losing muscle, right? Thank y'all for your honesty. The ladies who are saying, no, they've never heard of it. We're about to learn about it, right? No matter what you do, sis, the act of us losing muscle, just like the act of us losing estrogen, is actually a natural part of life, right? You can see on the image, there's a young, it's like a slice of, let's say it's a leg. You can see inside the leg, right? That the more red it is, the more muscle you have. The more yellow it is, the more fat you have. As you get older, that fat just creeps in. One, because estrogen is dropping, but two, because we are just normally losing muscle as we age. Jessica, right? Jessica, and I think it's Tracy. I see Natasha. We are losing muscle as we age as a regular fact of life. In fact, we lose like 3 to 5% of muscle mass. And when you lose muscle, you slower, your metabolism slows down. So your ability to burn fat slows down, as well as your ability to produce estrogen slows down. So if you are losing muscle and decreasing estrogen, both of those things are leading towards more fat. The less muscle you have, the less you can burn the fat. The less estrogen you have, the less the more fat that you're going to have. And unfortunately, that's the link. The link is between estrogen and visceral fat. The link is between muscle and fat. The more muscle you have, the more fat you burn. Excess fat goes directly to your belly. Why? Why? Who knows why excess fat goes directly to your belly? So if you are overeating and you have less muscle, that means you are not able to fight off the fat as fast because you have less muscle, right? You understanding? Right? And so now we have excess fat and it's going directly to your belly. Do you know why? Do you know why? I've said it already a million times. It is happening in that way because of your lack of estrogen. The lack of estrogen causes that excess fat not to just go to your hips anymore, not to just go to your thighs, not to just go to your shoulders. No, baby, it's going directly to your belly because our estrogen is going down. And that's where just the body lifts itself. That's just the connection that our bodies have. So it's not all your fault. It's not all your fault that your belly is as big as it is. It's because estrogen is decreasing. And as your estrogen is decreasing, excess fat because you keep eating the same. You're eating the same and your estrogen decreasing. Friend, that is a formula for a big belly, right? That is the formula for a big belly. So some of us are like, I'm walking around with a beer belly, but I don't drink beer, right? If that's your experience, type beer in the chat. If you feel like, gosh, I am walking around with this big old beer belly, I don't even drink beer, I don't even understand why my belly is this big, it is literally because your body is working as designed. Your body is working the way God designed it, meaning after a certain age, you lose estrogen because you're coming out of your childbearing years. But when you come out of your childbearing years, you're losing estrogen, and you're losing that estrogen. Guess what? That excess fat goes to visceral, and it's confusing. Sometimes you're like, well, why my belly this big? I hope it makes more sense now. If it makes more sense, go ahead and type aha in the chat. Aha, I got it. I see why. Now, it doesn't make us accept it anymore, but at least you're understanding that muscle sarcopenia, the fact that you don't have as much muscle and you will not, the older you get, the less muscle you have. That's just a matter of fact. The older you get, the less estrogen you have. So you have less estrogen, you have less muscle, you're going to have more fat, and you're going to have more belly fat. Makes sense? Now you know why menopause is just jacked up for your bellies. That's why. So what can we do? What can we do? Oh my God, what can we do? Right? But then there's other stuff going on too. Right? Before we get into the fix, let's talk about the other stuff that's happening. There are other things going on. Because isn't life just crazy? If you're a woman of a particular age like I am, you're in your 40s, you're in your 50s, you're in your 60s, life crazy. You are probably out here driving your kids around or making sure your kids are straight in college. You are probably around here taking care of your elderly parents, making sure that they are straight, taking them to doctor's appointments. Maybe you're taking care of a spouse, right? We have a lot going on. If you have a lot going on, type a lot. Girl, just type, oh, it's a lot. Is it a lot? Right? You're driving the kids around, you're taking care of your parents. And let's not even mention, we got to clean up the house. Then we got to wash the clothes. Then we got to also take care of our careers. Many of us are not retired just yet. So maybe we have a manager position or a department head position, or maybe we have our doctorates and we're professors. I don't know. Black women be out here doing our thing. But we have that going on in addition to the kids, in addition to the parents, in addition to take care of the house. And girl, shouldn't you be out here eating right? Shouldn't you be out here exercising? And let us not forget, we should have a social life. Do you not have friends? Are you hanging out with your friend? Friend, it is a lot. It's a lot. So when you talk about why your belly's so big, at this particular juncture in your life, your body is working against you. It just is. It's like at this point, your body's like, you didn't have no baby, but I'm about to make you look like you have one right now. It's just evil. With the muscle sarcopenia, with the estrogen and the progesterone and the testosterone dropping, menopause, you suck. Or perimenopause, you suck. Your body's natural disposition during this phase in life produces a bigger belly if you don't do anything about it. I hope you've had an aha moment already in this call. I hope you realize that not all of this is your fault. It's not all your fault. Do you believe me? Right? If you believe that, type amen. If you believe it's not all your fault, your belly size is not all your fault. It's not. It's not. If you believe that, type amen. Type amen in the chat, good sis, right? Right? But there's something else too. We talked about that. We talked about that already, right? We talked about hormone changes. As women age, the hormones fluctuate. And I already talked about the decline in estrogen, right? The levels during peri and menopause can lead to increased abdominal fat storage. We talked about that. And unfortunately, that fat storage is usually visceral fat. Visceral fat literally sits around your organs, right? With age, your metabolism slows down, leading to decrease in the number of calories that you're burning. And then we have the whole muscle sarcopenia happen, leading to the same thing, right? That's a horrible thing. And then we have lifestyle factors. Now that we're older, girl, we don't move as much. We used to be out here walking in the mall, right? We used to be out here hanging out with friends, doing active things. But because we're older and we have it's a lot going on. If you're not intentional, we end up with a sedentary lifestyle, right? We'll also end up just eating whatever is in front of us. Because guess what? It's a lot. And we don't have time to exercise because it's just a lot going on. All of that is building your belly. Right? All of that is building a belly you don't deserve. All of that is the perfect storm of a big belly. Do you see? Do you see? I hope you see. I hope you see that it's not all your fault, good sis. Some of us are out here, though, we're drinking alcohol and it can contribute to weight gain. And that also helps support your beer belly because it's a wine. Maybe it's not beer. Maybe you got a wine belly. You got a martini belly. You probably have one of those since if you out here with all the alcohol, but also stress. Chronic stress can lead to an increase in cortisol. Y'all know about that hormone cortisol, do you not? Do you not? Cortisol is out here causing your belly to be even bigger. Elevated cortisol levels have been associated with abdominal fat, right? That's sad. But there are things, there are herbs, there are specific foods that we can be eating to help combat all of this. Right? There are things that we can do, right? But unfortunately, so for some of us, the genetics are at play. Genetic factors can play a role, but like I said earlier, your genes are there, your gun is loaded, but you don't have to pull the trigger. But genetic factors can play a role in how fat is distributed. Some of us just build bigger bellies because that's just how fat is distributed in our family, right? We are genetically predisposed to fat storage in the abdomen area. Sorry, for some of us, it's just that way. Some of us are bottom heavy where we are predisposed, right, to having fat store in our hips or fat store in our back. Let me ask you, right? Where are you predisposed? Just side note, where are you predisposed to have fat storage? Is it in your hips? Is it in your back? Is it in your butt? Is it in your neck? Is it in your face? Like, where is it? Where are you predisposed? Veronica called it a happy hour belly. Yes, honey. Oh my God. That is hilarious, but that's what it is. Right? That's what it is. All right. Menopause related changes, right? We talked about that as well. Insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is a condition where cells don't even respond effectively to insulin. And that could lead also to fat storage. So if you're out here, you know you're diabetic, pre-diabetic, or on the borderline or whatever, sis, belly is going to be big because of that as well. Let us not even talk about the digestive issues. Right? Let us not even talk about the digestive issues. Many of us have issues with bloating, have issues with gas, have issues with constipation, have issues with, just pain. Some of us will eat something and immediately our bellies blow up. Like immediately they get bigger. Have you ever experienced that? Type big belly in the chat if you've ever experienced you eat one bite, 2 bites, a little piece of something, and then poop, your belly's just responding. Sis, you got digestive issues, and that also is causing your big belly. I see you sisters who are typing big belly in the chat. It is a real thing. It is happening to many of us, right? Other reasons we have big belly, lack of sleep. Y'all don't want to hear me though. Poor sleep patterns or insufficient sleep have been linked to weight gain, have been linked to specifically abdominal fat. You're like, why? Why sleep? Because there are hormones that are associated with sleep. Hormones that are associated with the girl, your body is run by hormones. Okay, so if you're not getting your sleep, you're not producing enough of a certain hormone. You don't produce a certain enough of a hormone. Guess what? Your snack monster comes out because your hormone isn't fully developed in your body for that night. You got to get your sleep so you can replenish your hormone supply, if nothing else. Sleep isn't just for rest, right? It's not just for you to get your sleep so you could feel good. It's also for your body to be able to reproduce the things that it needs to reproduce so that it can perform in its optimal performance the next day. So you need your hormones to be in order. The best way for your hormones to be in order is for you to get your sleep. Get your sleep, girl. But how many of us struggle with sleep? Type I struggle in the chat. If you are struggling with sleep, type I struggle in the chat. Let me know. Let me know that y'all are out here with the lack of water. Well, we on this call talking about why your belly's so big, right? Y'all want to hear more? If you, I have a whole bunch of reasons, and I'm about to break them all. I told you I was about to break them all down. If you want to hear more, type more in the chat. Look at all the ladies struggling with sleep. We got to get you. We got to get us a sleep routine, sisters. We're gonna be working on that, right? If you are struggling, if you want to hear more reasons why your belly's big, it's not just because of hormones. It's not just because you're eating too much. It's not just because of sleep. Y'all want to hear some more? Because I got a list, and I need you to know this list so that you are able to realize and connect your habit with your belly. Your habit of not sleeping, giving you a big belly. Your habit of not drinking water is not just making your mouth dry. Okay, it's also causing constipation. Your constipation is causing your belly to be bloated. Do you hear? I see all the mores. Deidre says she wants more. Cynthia Meek said, give me more. Jessica says she is struggling. But guess what? We here to save the day, friend. We here to save the day. It's important to note that an enlarged belly in women over 40 is not solely attributed to one factor. Y'all see that? It's not just one thing. It is a combination of many things: age, healthy lifestyle, exercising, balanced nutrition, stress management, getting your sleep. Like, girl, like I said, it's a lot. It's a lot going on, right? One of the things that we're going to talk about in our upcoming challenge is this thing called estrogen dominance, ED. Or do you know ED? If you know what ED is, go ahead and drop ED in the chat. If you don't know ED, type no ED, N-O-E-D. I'm trying to see how many of y'all already know about estrogen dominance, because that is a thing. That is a thing. It is a problem. So sis, stop just your laziness is not keeping your listen, you could be really out here fighting this belly war and still have a big belly if you're uninformed. Tracy says she doesn't know what ED is, right? Who else does not know what ED is? Daria doesn't know. Estrogen dominance, right? Let's talk about it, because I know a lot of ladies do not know ED. Some women may experience estrogen dominance. It's a condition where there is an imbalance between your estrogen and your progesterone. Remember, we talked about both of those hormones going down during menopause. But when we have that imbalance, as we are going through menopause, right, this can also lead to that hormonal imbalance, and it leads to weight gain. And it leads to weight gain specifically in your belly. So when I ask the question, what is ED? Your answer should be, it is when I have an imbalance between my estrogen levels and my progesterone levels. When those levels are off, when they don't have the right ratio, baby, you are in the sight for ED. And what ends up happening is your fat and your bloat, all that goes to your belly, unfortunately, right? Whoo, friend, ED. We're going to talk more about ED in our next challenge. We have a specific class on ED. We already talked about the difference between subcutaneous and visceral fat, but I really want to underscore it. I really want you guys to know the difference between the two, because visceral fat accumulation can lead to that big old giant belly. And it also is the one that's associated to your cardiovascular diseases that many of us have. Now, listen, we are in Heart Health Month. So y'all need to know, we need to know, and Black women are the ones who are dying at the highest of rates by this. So everybody on this call needs to know that visceral fat is the worst of the worst. We know it's the enemy, but it is the top enemy. It is the one that's sitting around your organs. So let me ask you a question. Sidebar. Do you have a scale that will let you know how much fat is included in your weight? Does your scale tell you more than just your weight? Does your scale tell you how much of your weight is actually fat? Yes or no in the chat. Does your scale tell you how much of your weight is actually fat? I'm just curious to know, because if it doesn't, you got the wrong scale. Now, those of you who are in Fit, Fine, and Fabulous, who are a part of my program, who are in my group, you know that you need to get that scale. You already have the scale, okay? But if your scale does not have that, you're in trouble, good sis, because you don't even know. You could weigh 200 pounds and 180 of them pounds is all fat. That's horrible. That is how two people could weigh the same but look different. You need to know your percentage of body fat. Correct? Correct? You need to know it. Now, next question. Now that you know your percentage of body fat, now you know how much of your weight is actually fat. The next thing we need to know, what kind of fat I got? Correct? Don't we need to know that? Because if I'm telling you that subcutaneous is not as bad, it's bad, but it's not as bad as visceral, then wouldn't you want to know how much of the fat is subcutaneous? How much of the fat is visceral? So now I'm going to ask you, if your scale tells you how much of your weight is fat, and then how much of that fat is actually visceral, go ahead and type a V in the chat. A V for visceral. A V. A V. I was trying to do this is a W, girl. I was doing this. That's not the V. This is the V, or this is the V. Verizon do this, don't they? The Verizon people. I don't know. But type of V, sis, right? Type of V. If your scale can do that. If your scale can do that, you win it. If your scale cannot do that, type no in the chat. Type no in the chat. So if you're typing no, that doesn't mean you're doing a bad thing. What it means is you have an opportunity to go up next level in your journey, in your weight loss journey. Type no in the chat if your scale does not tell you if it's subcutaneous or if it's visceral. Your scale should be out here saying, sis, you got X number of visceral fat. Work on that. If I am telling you that the visceral fat is what's going to give you the heart attack, is the visceral fat the one that's sitting around the organs causing your gallbladder to have issues, the one that's leaking into your bloodstream, you got fat in your blood now. It is the visceral fat, sis. So if I'm telling you that, wouldn't it behoove us to be able to determine what our level of visceral is? We need to do it. We need to do it. So get you a good scale. A good scale, okay? Get you a good old scale. And if you're like, well, I don't know what scale, drop it in the comments. When I'm done with this live, I'll go back and read the comments, and I'll drop the link to a very inexpensive scale all the way up to the scale that I have, which is a little bit more expensive, but they both get the job done. Both get the job done. If you need a new scale, type new scale in chat. I'll come back and leave that link for you in the comments, okay? In the comments, sis. All right. Yo-yo dieting is causing your big belly. So that repeated cycle of weight loss and then weight gain, weight loss and then weight gain. That fad diets. Y'all out here with the extreme cardio restrictions. I'm just not going to eat nothing. I'm just going to eat the lettuce. And then you start eating burgers again. I'm just going to drink my juice. And then you start eating the pizza. That yo-yo stuff, just go ahead and direct the fat to your belly. Why don't you? The yo-yoing helps to grow your belly as well. Since we don't want that. We don't want that. So we've got to stop this. Some medications. And you can't really help it if you're taking steroids, if you're taking antipsychotics, if you're taking antidepressants. Some of those also have that bloating as a side effect. So be careful. Some of us have hypo or hyperthyroidism. That's a thing as well, right? Where our thyroid gland isn't producing enough thyroid hormone. It slows down our metabolism. I had many ladies who are both hyper and hypo. If you are hyper or hypo, go ahead and type, let's see what we're going to type. Type hypo or hyper in the chat. If you know you have thyroid disease, that also causes a bigger belly. Cushing syndrome, right? It's a condition characterized by excess cortisol production. So you're not stressed, but your body is responding like you are. That's called Cushing syndrome. But that cortisol hormone that we talked about is produced, like overly produced. That too will cause weight gain in your belly. Listen, we breaking it all down, y'all. Y'all already know, pregnant ladies, you lose the elasticity in your skin. And so then you're struggling with getting that back together. Then we got ladies with fluid retention. Hormonal changes will cause that too, right? So then we got the fluid being retained in our ankles and in our wrists, fluid being retained in your bellies too. More reasons. These are all reasons that your belly will be big. Now, for those of you who are not eating your fiber and you just want to be out here eating all the fast food in the world, but you're not trying to have any of the fibrous foods, that will also lead to constipation. That will also lead to bloating. And that will also give you a big belly, right? Jessica says she has hypo. Anyone else on the call has hypo or hyper? Thank you, Jessica, for being honest, for being open. And we talked about the IBS, which is digestive issues, right? But there are some that are not caused by what you're eating. It's truly just, it's what you have. You have a gastrointestinal disorder like IBS, or you might even have Crohn's disease. These are all gastrointestinal issues that we need to address with the food choices. Now, I just ran down what? That had to have been like 25 good old reasons. I don't know how many, it was a lot. A lot of reasons why your black belly, your black woman belly is big, right? It's big. But knowing something doesn't change your life. Just because you know it doesn't change it. Doing something is. Who's ready to do something about it? So now that you know what's going on, who's actually ready to do something? Who's actually ready to make a change? If you're actually ready to be a doer, type doer in the chat. If you are ready to take action and try to correct some of these hormonal issues, try to correct some of this visceral fat that's attacking your organs, trying to correct your lack of sleep, your lack of water, your lack of fiber, your lack of eating healthy, if you're trying to correct it, go ahead and type do something or doer in the chat. Because this is what we are about. We are about taking action. Informing, yes. Also taking action. It's a two-step thing. And I'm looking for my doers. If you a doer, type doer in the chat. If you're not just a hearer of the word, but you are also a doer of the word, go ahead and type doer in the chat, because that's who we are looking to work with. We want to work with the doers. Right? We want you to take action, and we want you to join. We are hosting a 10-day Heal Your Hormones Girl Challenge. Heal Your Hormones Girl. That is coming up, and it's coming up very, very soon. We're doing it this month. Heal Your Hormones Girl. If you are interested in learning more about our 10-day challenge, go ahead and type 10-day in the chat. I am going to explain how that challenge is going to work. Go ahead and type 10-day in the chat if you are ready to learn about our 10-day challenge. Heal your hormones. We're going to show you how you can actually, we're really going to do? We're going to talk more about estrogen dominance. We're going to talk more about the supplements that you can get right off of Amazon. I'm not selling nothing. I'm not selling no pills or nothing like that. I'm going to show you where to go on Amazon to help you get better sleep. I'm going to show you where to go on Amazon to reduce your cortisol levels. There are supplements for that, good friend. There are supplements to help you fight off the ED, right? This is what we are going to be doing together as a sisterhood. And I'm telling you up front right now, the cost of the challenge is $97. 97. But for the ladies on this call, it is going to be $37. I'm telling you up front, that's how much it is. If you want to do this with us for 10 days, and you're going to have 10 live days with me, just like this right here, we're going to be talking different lessons, right? I have different lessons around how to heal your hormones, and we're going to be explaining different supplements. And guess what, sis? You're going to get a book sent to your home. Right? So let us talk about what's in it, because I see a lot of ladies talking about 10-day, right? Because when you are in a group, when you do this together, you are 600% more likely to reach your goals. Just more likely to reach your goals, right? Like Nicole Mathis did, shrunk that belly right on down. Like Chastity Johnson did, shrunk that belly. Like Natasha did. Look at Natasha's belly, right? Look at Jasmine's belly. Oh my goodness, this is in 4 weeks. She lost 9 inches off her waist in a month, simply by following the guidelines and the rules, right? So tonight, I'm going to share with you guys a life-changing situation, how we're actually going to do this, right? So if you're interested in the how, stay on, right? And in fact, if you're interested in the how, type how in the chat so that I can know who's actually interested in joining us for $37, because that's all it is. Life-changing information for $37. You get a book sent to your home, $37. Good stuff, right? So if you're interested in learning how, go ahead and type how in the chat, because this is what I'm about to break down. But before I even get into that, I need you to know that this isn't a quick fix. It's not about getting skinny, right? It's not for people who don't want to do any work. It's not for people who don't want to learn. This is an environment of education, an environment of sisterhood. It's an environment to raise your level of understanding of how your body works. So if you're not really understand how to do this, if you're not really truly trying to do this for life, it's probably not the little $37 challenge for you. It's probably not, right? Probably not. All right. So I'm just being honest and upfront, because you give you access to our app, we give you access to our sisterhood, we send you a book to the house. This is actually for women who are tired of feeling uncomfortable. If that's you, type I'm tired. Just do that for me. Type I'm tired in the chat if that's you, because this is who this is for. It's for women who are tired of not knowing what to eat. If you're like tired because you eat stuff and your belly get bloated, you're like, oh my God, I don't even know, and I'm not even full. I don't know what to eat. If you're tired, type tired. If you're tired of trying fad diets and then just quitting and just going back to eating junk, if you're tired of that, if you're tired of this big belly just sitting in front of you like a spare tire, like another appendage on you, if you're tired of that, type tired. If you're tired of being diabetic, if you're tired of having high blood pressure, if you're just tired of being tired, I'm tired of being tired, type tired. I'm tired of this. Type I'm tired in the chat, sis, because that's who it's for, right? So let me tell you what you get when you join. Right. First thing, we're going to have 10 days of Zoom coaching calls. We're going to be talking through the topics and the issues. So we're going to be educated. Somebody in the chat type education, because we're going to raise your level of education, of understanding how your body works, understanding how these hormones work. That's a given. We're going to be educating you. We're also going to give you my new book, Heal Your Hormones, Girl. That's being shipped to your house. That is free. You don't have to pay that additional, because it's a part of the $37, right? And you're going to be unlocking the secrets to hormone balance in this particular challenge. That's what we are doing. Now, you will have access to challenge replays. If you aren't able to make the challenge, you're going to have some replays and all the things. We also are going to be giving you meal plans. Yes, friend, hormone healing meal plans are going to be provided. And we know it's about to be the Lenten season, y'all. So I am going to be providing us with some Daniel fast plans. How many of us are down with the Daniel plan? The Daniel fast, type Daniel in the chat. So you'll have a Daniel fast option, and then you'll have our regular weight loss option. Let me know in the chat if you are down with the Daniel fast. Type Daniel. So every week we are going to be dropping a new meal plan for you. It's a 10-day challenge, so you will be provided with that one meal plan. And then I'm going to help you meal prep. I'm going to help you get organized. I'm going to help you execute. So we're going to be having that education, and we're going to get the right foods, and we're going to be balancing our hormones. And I could promise you, remember at the top of our call, we talked about how ladies was losing 3 and 5 and 6 pounds in a week. It's going to be you. It is going to be you. All you have to do is show up, because we Daniel fast meal plans, and we also have our sugar detox meal plan options as well. And then, baby, I have 2 new prizes I've never given away. I looked these up. Yeah, I looked these up. And the prize is a chance to win a vegetable chopper, right? Because it has like all the different ways that the julienne, the chopped, and the sliced, and all that. So you're going to have a chance to win a vegetable slicer, a chopper. And then also you will have a chance to win a breakfast maker. Do you see it in the screen? It's like a griddle at the top, little toaster oven at the bottom. It's kind of cute. It's a 3-in-1. So I have two prizes, and I might be awarding 4 ladies a prize. So yes, friend, you out here being motivated to lose weight, to reduce your belly, to meal prep, to be amongst ladies who are in the same boat as you are, trying to whittle that middle. That is what we are doing. And again, like I said, that book will be sent to your house. And you will have the recordings, so you can do this training over and over and over again, right? Hope that makes sense. Does it make sense? Type yes in the chat if it makes sense. And also, I'm just curious, which one would you rather win? Would you like the breakfast maker or the vegetable chopper? Because, baby, chopping vegetables, I don't do it. I always buy the ones that's already chopped everywhere and when I can. But the vegetable chopper is everything. Cynthia says she's like the breakfast maker. All right. Okay, good sisters. So what else? The sisterhood support is going to be there. So you're not going to be doing it alone. We're going to be having our calls together. We're going to be there supporting one another. We're going to be asking you for your problems, your issues, so that we can help resolve them. We are also going to be giving you access to our app. Girl, you're getting a book, you're getting meal plans, you're getting 2 different kinds of meal plans, you're getting support from the sisters, you're getting live training, and you're getting the app. Lord have mercy. All of that used to be $97. Tonight, it is $37. This will not be the price after this call. It will not be. This is I'm on the call price, right? Right? So again, you get coaching calls, you get the book shipped to your house, you get the replays, you get the hormone healing meal plan, you get the sugar detox meal plan, which is also the Daniel fast, right? You also get a chance to win prizes. You also get the Sisters of Fit, Fyne, and Fabulous and access to our app for $37. Okay. Are you worth $37? Type 37 in the chat. Type 37 in the chat. If you are ready to sign up, type 37 in the chat. Right? Because if you join us tonight, again, the price is $37, but you also are going to get our Super Bowl snack recipe ebook. It is free. All the recipes that we were posting, the nachos, the zucchini burgers, the fries, the hamburgers, the meatballs, all of that is free when you join tonight. When you join tonight, you get that link sent directly to your Super Bowl tomorrow. You get to sit there and enjoy your Super Bowl and not worry about also increasing your belly. Also increasing your belly. Let me tell y'all the link to sign up. The link to sign up is meltyourmenobelly.com, then /VIP1. I put it in the chat, but I don't know that you can see it. If you can't see it, type I see it in the chat. I think I put it in the chat, right? It's meltyourmennobelly.com/VIP1. It is $37 while you were on this call. So I am hopeful that you will be joining the Sisters of Fit, Fine, and Fabulous to get that weight snatched up. Here's the link again, www.MELT for melt, YOUR for your, Meno, MENO, belly.com/VIP1. Now you might be like, girl, I don't have the $37 ready. Guess what? We take Klarna, Affirm, Cash App, Apple Pay. We take your debit card, all the things. These are all of our payments. You can sign up and don't even have to pay because you can use Afterpay. I know we use Afterpay for purses, for shoes, for outfits. Well, how about using it for your health? How about that? How about we use it for something that will actually extend your life? I'm glad you guys could see it. So now tell me, how many of you are already signed up? Say, I signed up. I signed up. If you are already signed up, type I signed up. If you are going to sign up, type I'm doing it. I'm doing it now. If you've already done it, type I signed up. If you are going to do it, type I'm doing it now in the chat. And I want to congratulate the ladies who have already signed up. I want to congratulate you guys. Love to see it. Because again, you start, but then we keep going. Like our girl Angela Phillips, who lost 20 pounds. Angela snatched that waist right on up. My girl here, she lost 22 pounds in 2 months. In 2 months, she went from a size 14 to a size 10. I think many of you in Fit, Fine, and Fabulous remember this diva. She started at 207 and she ended at 185. She said she used to be afraid of the scale, but not anymore. My girl Felicia lost 13 pounds in the first 5 days. 13.1 to be exact. So if you are signing up now, go ahead and say, hey, guess what, coach? I'm getting in there for $37. I want that book. I want the meal plans. I want the app. I want my success partners right alongside me. Go ahead and type in, I'm doing it now. Right? Natasha said, do you take Afterpay? We do take Afterpay. Go to the link that I shared above. I'm going to type it again for you, Natasha, and you will see the option. It's 2 buttons. And the second button says, I want to start now and pay later. You can choose that one. Daria has signed up. Congratulations to you, Daria. Sonia has signed up. Let's go, Sonia. Janice has signed up. I love it. Tracy Williams. Hey, friend. She signed up. Meeks. All right. Deidre. I love it, Deidre. I'm so glad that you are with us. Deidre has already lost, is it 30 pounds? Deidre done lost 30 pounds already. Let's go, Deidre. Keep it going. Cynthia Meeks is doing it now. Annie is doing it now. Cheryl Mormon already. Cheryl, come on now. You acting out. I love it. I love how Cheryl is keeping her energy going. Keeping the energy going. Valerie Butler says she's already signed up. That's awesome. Super, super awesome. Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining tonight. If you are joining, make sure you join while you're on this call because the price will be $37 for those of us who are here together. So I have a couple of more slides of transformations showing my friend here, Teen. Teen is my college friend. Teen started at 302 pounds. Do you see her toes on the scale? My college friend came to me and was like, hey, I need some help. She was over 300 pounds and we worked her down to 255 pounds in just 3 months. Listen, we can do a lot in 10 days. We can do a lot in 10 days. It is amazing. My good college friend did that. So proud of her. Also the Tech girls, right? We got Dana and her daughter. They lost 50 pounds together. A mom and a daughter lost 50 pounds together using the same strategies. Diva Price is 66 years old. She's lost over 50 pounds. I think Diva Price is at 63. Sarah Price, are you on the call? Because I think Diva Price right now is at 63 some odd pounds and maybe 30 some odd inches. She's 66. She was. Diva Price might be 67 or 68 now. I don't know. But age is not, it's not a reason not to start, right? My friend Lynette, her A1C is no longer registering as pre-diabetic. Her cholesterol went down by 20 points. Her pressure is 113 over 74. That is amazing, right? Francine has cancer. Her cancer treatments elevated her A1C. The metamorphin wasn't working, but guess what did? Healthy and whole foods. She reduced her A1C from 10.4 all the way down to 7.3. Do you hear this, sisters? This can be you. All you have to do is get started. All you have to do is get started. Tammy says she just joined. That's awesome. Welcome inside, Miss Tammy. I'm so glad that you are participating. Get ready for that challenge. Get ready for the book to come. Lavon Montague said she is pleased with the results that for the past 10 days, and she's only been 95% accurate in her plan. So she was off a little bit. She was eating off plan a bit, but she reduced her glucose by 15 points in 10 days. Can you believe it? I can, because we've watched this over and over again, right? Valerie says she lost 18 pounds and 13 inches following the principles in the book that you're about to get. Demita, her A1C went from 6.1 to 5.4. Her blood pressure is down to 117 over 80. She walked out the doctor's office like a boss. Those were her words, not mine. Meeks is on the call right now. Meeks lost 30 pounds and 51 inches. Meeks has probably lost way more than that. This is an old stat. Meeks, if you want to update it in the chat. Phyllis Jackson, my girl, she has grave disease, and she also has multiple sclerosis, lost 31 pounds and 30 inches. So what am I saying? That ladies, if they can do it, you can too. You can too. Is there anyone else on the call who's live with me tonight that plans on joining tonight? Type tonight in the chat. If there is none, right? If there is none, Natasha, it says 44 because we are shipping you a book, and that also includes shipping and taxes. Shipping and taxes, so we can ship your book to you. The book is free, but the shipping is not, right? You got to cover the shipping. If you plan on joining tonight, type tonight in the chat. Type tonight in the chat. If you've already joined, thank you so much for joining, ladies. Evelyn Holman, Tracy Johnson, Varel, I'll be looking for your sign ups. I'm trying to stay on so that you can get the 37 price. The price will change. It will not be $37. So if you want to get it now. This is for the ladies who decided, I'm going to get on this call. I'm going to listen to the call. I'm going to stay till the end. So you guess what? You get a discount for that. You get a discount for that. So T Hill, go ahead and sign up right now. Do you have the link, T Hill, to sign up? I'll be looking for you. I'm going to drop that link again in the chat. It is www.meltyourmenobelly.com/VIP1. All right. All right. Do you have any questions before I pop off? Does anyone have any questions that they need for me to answer before I pop off? If I don't see any questions, I'll be ending the call. However, I would like to ask before we go, right? Darius says, I don't see Afterpay, only PayPal and pay later. Then go back to the main screen. Go back to the link that I gave you and choose the correct button. There are two buttons. The second button is the button that says pay later. So choose the second button, Daria. All right. So if you don't have any questions, I have a question for the ladies on the call. Did I keep the class exciting for you? Did I drop some aha moments for you? Did you learn something super exciting tonight that you feel like, gosh, I feel like now that I know this, I can do better? right? Was this class what you thought it would be or more? Give me some feedback, because I want to be sure that I am delivering training and education to Black and brown women 40, 50, and 60 and over that can help us to elevate our health. Right. Our goal at Fit, Fine, and Fabulous is to end the trend of obesity in our Black and brown communities. And that starts with education. That starts with being informed. And I truly hope that you leave this call with a level of excitement about your health, with a level of new education around something that you can resolve or something that you can do differently, something that you can change. We're going to talk more about estrogen dominance. We're going to talk more about hormones, lots of supplements that you can be taking to help correct, and also the food plan. We're going to be talking in greater details about these things during our challenge. So if you would not mind in the chat sharing with me the one thing that you're going to take away from this call. What is one thing that you're going to take away from this call before we end? Right? Before we end, please do share that. Please do share if you do not mind. I am so grateful for all the women who stopped by tonight to say hi, to say hello, to commune. I love sitting here with our sisters, because I remember my girl Michelle Williams would show up all the time. She lost two dress sizes, 16 pounds lighter, 15 inches smaller. That is my girl, right? Don't miss out, ladies. The space is limited, and our bonuses are only available until tonight, until we're on this call, right? So to go ahead and take the first step, join us on the link that I provided. I'm going to help you get the results that you deserve, right? Sonia says to get a better scale is her tip. Yes and amen. Tracy says, I need more sleep for my belly, not just for rest, which is good. You need your rest because we need to be alert, but it also is for your belly. Amen, Tracy. Great. Cynthia Meeks just signed up. Let's go, Meeks. All right. Vanessa Johnson says the difference between the types of belly fat. Come on, with the visceral fat, subcutaneous fat. We're going to be breaking it even more during our challenge. Cynthia Meek said it was all about estrogen dominance for her, knowing that imbalance between estrogen and progesterone is a thing, and it's called ED, kind of hit home. And in our class, in our challenge, we're going to be talking about how to fight and combat ED. And we're also going to be talking about things that you need to take to your doctor, panels that you need to tell them to run this panel so I can know my levels, because that's where it all starts. We need to know our hormone levels. We need to know where we are so that we can know if we're in menopause or not. So we can know if we have ED or not. So we can know if we are struggling in a certain vitamin or mineral or hormone deficiency. Correct? Glenda says there are multiple reasons why you have a big belly. This is true. Darius says estrogen dominance is what hits home for her. Cheryl Mama says there are many things contributing to your belly fat. Janet says how our hormones affect our belly. Y'all are out here listening. Thank you for regurgitating that. I appreciate you listening to the sound of my voice on a Saturday night. Who y'all are y'all watching the Super Bowl tomorrow? We're gonna stay on just a little bit longer. Are y'all watching the Super Bowl tomorrow? Let me know in the chat. Valerie Butler says, knowing about ED and the supplements to correct the hormone. Yes, we're really going to be breaking that down, Valerie. Varel says, I can't sign up until after we are done. My phone will not allow me to go. Okay, no worries. Natasha said it keeps saying Amazon or Apple Pay. So it should also say Afterpay on there for you as well, sis. So I'm not sure if you're clicking the right button. It should. What I want you to do, if you continue to have problems and I want to honor the price for you, Natasha, email us at VIP Diva Support at fitfinefabulous.com. Email there. And what I'm going to do is make sure that you get the right link. Right? To make sure that you get the right link. Tracy says she's going to watch the halftime. The challenge is actually going to start next week. It's starting next week. For those of you who are joining, you'll get all the materials next week. You'll get the start date. You'll be added to the app. There's going to be a special group. For those of you who are already members of Fit, Fine, and Fabulous, there's going to be another group added, as well as new habits added. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. You're not going to believe this challenge. It's a new one. It's great. I'm excited to teach the education around hormones, supplements, herbs, and all the things that you can do to help balance your hormones. And Petra, I see that you just signed up. Congratulations. Cynthia's like, go Chiefs. Ah. Tracy says, go Eagles. Janice said, how about the Chiefs? I don't know. I might watch. I watch for commercials. Even though the Super Bowl is in my city, I kind of wish I was there just for the parties. Okay, New Orleans knows how to party. All right, ladies. Well, thank y'all for indulging me. Thank y'all for sharing. If you haven't already, join our Fit, Fine, and Fabulous Facebook group. Also, subscribe to my channel here. If you love this call and you love Fit, Fine, and Fabulous, please like this video. Share it with a friend. Encourage someone to learn about hormones. For unfortunately, so many of us don't know how menopause affects our bodies, how the change in hormones affect our weight, right? And we need to be able to educate one another on these things. We absolutely need to do that. And during our challenge, we will be sharing the answers to the questions of the night. We asked a lot of questions about hormones, right? And we're going to be giving those answers during the challenge. Tammy says, go Chiefs. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies, for your time tonight. I always enjoy chit-chatting with you. Again, thank you, Varel, for sharing the video. Tag a friend, share it. I appreciate you helping me to help other women learn to live a more fit, a more fine, and a more fabulous night. I hate to leave y'all, but I am. Y'all have a good rest of your Saturday. I'm actually going grocery shopping this late evening. It is 6 o'clock, but I'm getting my grocery shopping in, and I did my meal plan. Guess what, y'all? I follow the same routine that y'all follow as well. I'm gonna post my meal plan in the app as soon as we hang up here tonight. So do me a favor, like this video. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Have a good night.